Hey everyone, Joshua Loera here with KBG Insurance and Financial. Just want to reach out and make a quick video on homeowners insurance. Some of the coverages that are included in a typical homeowners policy. Also some coverages that are not included that you may think are in a home policy. So just wanted to give you some great information. If you have any questions, of course, as always, reach out to us. But this will be a video covering homeowners insurance. We are an independent broker right downtown Spokane, Washington. We service multiple states such as Washington, Idaho, Oregon, Arizona, and Montana, and looking to get into some other states as well. So homeowners insurance, what that covers is, really covers any damage to your property, your home, interior, exterior, for a number of reasons. So whether from fire, vandalism, windstorm, things like that, you're subject to paying your deductible, which is what you could choose and go through with your agent. And then after that, after you pay your deductible, say it's $1,000, the insurance company pays anything in excess of that. So say a tree falls on your house and causes $5,000 in damage and you have $1,000 deductible, you pay $1,000 and the insurance company pays $4,000. So quick coverage there. Same thing with theft. Someone comes in, breaks into your home, steals your personal property, vandalizes your home, things of that nature. So a couple other things as well, when it comes to personal property, personal property is anything that is you can take out of your home if you were to tip your home upside down and anything that were to fall out, so to speak. So appliances, clothing, furniture, things of that nature, that is all personal property. Now, a couple caveats to that is when it comes to things such as jewelry or guns, antiques, maybe you have fine arts, those are subject to a certain limit in a policy. So for jewelry, for example, most companies only cover up to $1,500. So if you have a wedding ring that's worth $6,000, you're only going to have $1,500 in coverage for that. But what you can do is add that onto your home policy as scheduled personal property. And so you will need an appraisal for that, which I'm sure you would have having a ring like that. And all you do is submit that to your insurance agent. They send that to the insurance company. And in the event of a loss, whether you lose it, it's stolen, mysterious disappearance, things of that nature, you'll get that ring replaced for $6,000. So something to keep in mind too, when getting a home insurance policy, or if you already have one, is to make sure you have the right coverages. A lot of times we think we don't have as much property as we really do, and so it's nice to make sure that we do have it covered. Going on all the fires in Oregon and Washington and things happening right now, maybe a good time if you live in those areas or any other high-risk areas, to make sure your coverages are in place and you're covered correctly. So, something in regards to a wedding ring or maybe a gun that you got passed down from a family member, things that are hard to replace and go by the next day or that same day. You want to make sure you have that covered properly. So a couple things there in regards to personal property. Another coverage that insurance companies are starting to come out with and include on home insurance policies is what's called water backup and sump pump overflow discharge coverage. And so what this is say you live in the city, you're responsible from your home and property line all the way up into the sidewalk. And so that is in regards to the sewer line. So say your toilet was to overflow and there was a backup between your property and toilet up to the sidewalk, and there was a pipe that burst, any type of damage that caused a flooding within your home or within the grass or the concrete, anything like that, you're responsible for that damage. So the city is not going to pay for that. They're only going to pay from the sidewalk, from your property line when it meets the sidewalk. They'll only pay for it at that point. And so unless you add this endorsement, the water backup and sump pump overflow discharge endorsement, you have no coverage for that in a typical homeowner's policy. So a lot of insurance companies are starting to add this, such as Travelers and Safeco. They're adding this endorsement. And on all our customers' home insurance policies, we always add a minimum of $20,000. You're still subject to your deductible. Say it's $1,000 in this example I gave before. You pay $1,000 and the insurance company pays the rest. And the coverages that this would cover is obviously any concrete damage that happens, flooring in your home, the toilet and piping, things like that, and anything else that is caused from this type of claim. That is definitely an important coverage. As say you have kids and maybe they flush things down the toilet, it causes a discharge, causes anything like that to clog it. This is a nice endorsement to have. So speak to your insurance agent about that, and if you have it in your current homeowner's insurance policy. Another coverage is equipment breakdown, which is something that insurance companies have also lately come out with, such as Safeco, Travelers, Grange, a couple other ones that we work with. And what this is it covers appliances in your home. So a water heater, AC unit, fridge, things of that nature. This is subject to its own deductible, and it will cover up to a certain policy limit for all your appliances. So if they were to go out for any reason, and if you're keeping them up to date, your homeowner's insurance policy, you could file a claim under it to replace all of these appliances. So think of it as a home warranty. You know, when you go to buy a home and they offer home warranties, and there's companies out there that do offer that, this is the same type of deal that you could add into your actual homeowner's insurance policy and save costs without actually having to go and purchase, warranties from other companies. So something to keep in mind there as well. Personal liability insurance coverage on homeowners insurance. This covers any type of lawsuits that others were to file against you. So, for example, say your dog gets out, or some type of animal gets out and bites somebody, or maybe you have horses or cattle and they get out and somebody hits them and gets injured. This is the part that comes into your home insurance that covers claims like that. So the liability portion of it. This is something that we recommend having a minimum of $500,000. And as you see, the difference between $100,000, $300,000, and $500,000 in liability coverage is very minimal. But having that extra coverage definitely benefits you in the long run if there were a claim to arise and anything were to happen. That is just something that in regards to lawyer fees, things like that going to court, and those start to add up. And if you have $100,000, depending on the damage that's caused to the other person as well, you could exhaust that $100,000 really quick. And once you exhaust your policy limits for liability, then you're responsible to pay out of pocket, maybe equity you have in your home, cash savings, 401ks, things of that. You'll be responsible to make that other person whole. So something to keep in mind there as well. Loss of use coverage on a homeowner's insurance policy. What this covers is, say your home is unlivable for any reason, whether a storm damage, say your home burns down, worst case scenario. Loss of use coverage covers you with certain companies up to 12 months to put you in a place to where until your home is deemed livable again, whether rebuilt or restored. So, for example, with Travelers and Safeco, a couple of companies, bigger companies we work with, if anything like that were to happen to your home, they'll put you in a similar place for up to 12 months. They'll cover food, lodging, any extra expenses you'll incur by not living in your home. You'll be covered up to 12 months. So great coverage to have, and to make sure you have that in your current home policy as well. A couple different methods of how your home is valued. There's actual cash value and replacement cost. So we always add the replacement cost endorsement onto our customers' policies, just because there's so much change in the housing market right now. And just as inflation happens, worst case scenario, your home burns down or something happens to it. The last thing you want is to get $300,000 for your home when it costs $500,000 to build. And that's where actual cash value comes into play, because they account for what's called depreciation. And so they'll depreciate your home from when you bought it to the time of a loss. And so not having the adequate coverage for that, can be very spendy, so having a $300,000 home built for you when it really costs $500,000 to get the same exact home, obviously there's a big gap there. So we always add replacement cost coverage with an extra extended dwelling coverage of 25%. And so what that means is your home will be replaced for what it's worth, what it costs to build today. Plus you get an extra 25% on top of the policy limit. So say you have $500,000 in coverage, you'll get an extra 25% on top of that, which would give you well over $600,000 in coverage for your home to be rebuilt brand new. So something to keep in mind there too. Now, a couple things that aren't covered in a typical homeowner's insurance policy are flood and earthquake insurance. So flood insurance, that's something that goes through the government. Insurance companies can help you with it. They're brokered to go through FEMA, and companies that, like Hartford, for example, to where you can get a flood insurance quote. But if you're in an area where there's a flood, an earthquake, things of that nature, that's not covered in the typical home insurance policy unless you have these coverages in place. So a couple great things. Just wanted to inform you guys on homeowners insurance. Whether you're buying a new home, know that can be a stressful process, but whether you're an established homeowner and maybe haven't gotten a quote in a while to see how much money you can save on homeowners insurance, we'd love to help you out and get you a quote. But nonetheless, hope you learned something. Follow our channel. We'll be making more videos on homeowners insurance. I'll be breaking these coverages down even more, plus some other information on home insurance as well. But just want to give you a brief overview of what it is, what it entails, and who we are. So appreciate you watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.